What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We in the building. We in the building today. If you can hear me, holla. If not, don't holla. So, what we gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about He-Man. We're gonna talk about Transformers: War for Cybertron trilogy and the fact that it's over now. And we're gonna talk about some of these toys that we got in front of you here. Just taking care of some customs. We had to get everything straight. It's been a long day. I've been trying to do this since yesterday, but apparently I just couldn't get it done. I had some things I had to take care of today, and in fact, feel like I had a personal day just to really. I'm tired. But let me get some of my stuff together, and let's get into this. Be right back. All right. I'm back. It's not going to be a long stream, solo stream. It's just me. And that's just the way I want it. So, right off the bat, we got some stuff that I was working on, mainly getting rid of some of this grime and dirt off of these Siege figures, doing some customs. We'll show off some pickups first. So, Springer, I finally cleaned up. Oh, I'm so happy I cleaned him up. Also cleaned up the the Walmart exclusive Sound Blaster. So this is the Walmart version. There is an extra Decepticon symbol put on because I use 70% alcohol, which is not as powerful to take stuff off. I don't even know why I got Cup out here today. And I think he looks good. Next is Cheetor. And I finished putting the paint on his legs today. And yeah, he looks pretty good as well. It's nice looking. Like I said, we're live. Got some of these toys here. And of course, when I got home, I had to cut the grass. So my wife was like, hey, when you gonna cut the grass? I'm like, well, better do it today, just in case it rains. And then I was working on RC. I don't know if I like it. I do have like 2 more of her, so I'm not worried about messing anything up, but man, I didn't like the way I painted her, and the white paint just wasn't working for me when I tried to paint the inner thighs. I should have left the inner thighs alone, but I'm not going to open up another one of her just to repaint it. But, I do like her looking like that a little better. I just got to clean it up a little bit, probably add some, shine to it. And couldn't find any Transformers this week. Couldn't find anything. Target was bare at both ends of the spectrum. I don't usually toy hunt because I find it pointless, considering people want to scalp, and also the fact that in this area where I'm from, there are a lot of Transformer collectors. I mean, there are a lot. And me and my friend have been like, you feel like going out there and getting this stuff? No, not really. I work too much for that. But I did find these, and these aren't Transformers, but stuff that I collect, and that's these Hot Wheels. Pretty cool. Got the Team Transport Hot Wheels premium sets, and I like these, man. These are not the only ones that I really go clamoring for and running out to the store to get, and this one is pretty good. So yeah, I went and picked it up. Looking good, nice colors. And then last week, I had got this because I destroyed a Prime. So I picked this up last week. I was customizing the Prime last week, and then I decided to go full G1, and I obliterated the poor feet on the toy, and well, he is no more. So these are just a few things that I picked up, and I also got some stuff from JRC. Oh, there's that. And I did already install some of that. I'll probably post pictures. I'm not really going to do like a review on those, because he's getting a lot of that guy JRC, it's got some good prices and things of that nature. So I think you would be kind of pleased to head on into his store, and maybe when I finish with the live, I'll put a link to that. But I'm a big fan of the Sunstreaker, the Earthrise Sunstreaker mold. I think it's a really good mold. I think overall it's something that people like to have. I think it's something that you'll enjoy. And then, of course, we have these parts. Well, I'm all messed up on this live stream today. And yeah, these are the weapons and spoilers. Nice little simple plastic, red plastic there. And of course, these are guns. These, I think it's like, let's say these were probably $7.99, but I mean, this is a guy, he's in America, JRC. He's got a store on eBay as well as his own store. If you order from there, it's probably going to be a decent price. So we'll probably be installing these while I talk live. So let's begin with installation. Now, in order, I'm going to talk about He-Man. And I know some of y'all, He-Man's been a polarizing issue, this Revelations cartoon. And I've noticed that a lot of my contemporaries, or whether you want to see me as being a contemporary or not, they're all in agreement. Oh, this is a great cartoon. You got to understand this is Revelation, blah, 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 blah. It's not, it's, you He-Man fans are, not are really He-Man stands, and yada, 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 and vice versa. If you hear a ding, because we're live, this is going to be my wife calling me. But I got to be honest, I didn't like it. Like, people, I mean, if it's a good cartoon, it's a good cartoon. I don't care about none of the LGBTQ or whatever. I've never cared about that. And, especially a lot of people get this misconception that there's this misogyny in the Black community, and that's BS. Because if you grew up in the Black community, you definitely, I'm 48. So in my teenage years, that's 30 years ago or better, I lived next door to cross-dressers. I lived probably down the road. My cousin, he was gay, and he actually got, he got killed for that. Not in a sense they were wrong, but he was. It was always there. Nobody got upset. I remember almost getting jumped and, getting saved by the group of, the cross-dresser group, because they all worked out of a club downtown Charleston. They lived in an apartment together, and the apartment we lived in had a laundromat. It wasn't a complex. It's probably about 6 apartments altogether, and that's had a laundromat there. And some people tried to jump me out there, and I didn't have my friends or anything. Yeah, I grew up in the hood, so don't get it twisted. And hey, they were the ones that they put hands on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And people were shocked, but at the end of the day, they're still men. So the hands came through. So I mean, we grew up like that, and so that's not the issue. The issue is Teela is just not a likable character. Say what you want. Try to compare her to the old Teela. No, it's not the same, because in the old Teela, everybody was trying to compare. It was like an inside joke if you think about it, because everybody else is like, you don't know, like everybody else knows, like, you know what I'm saying? But she just wasn't a likable character in the beginning. Yes, because it had the same dynamic in a sense. She always was kind of snide towards He-Man, and always trying to be a protector to Prince Adam, which that's what Teela did. Teela was not a weak character. This whole thing with Sarah Michelle Gellar saying that she was a background character, that's crazy. Because when I was growing up, we all to Teela. That's Teela. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she riding. Her and her dad, Duncan, Man at Arms. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I watched He-Man. That's not one of my favorite cartoons, but I watched it because it was on when I got home from school. In elementary school. But I just, in the beginning, I was like, all right, yeah, bet. So yeah, we know what happened with He-Man. Yes, it's gonna be spoilers. So you don't want to hear any spoilers, you ain't watch it yet, get out. So basically, He-Man, he got what's the word I'm trying to use here? He got basically, I guess he got so I gotta remember how to install these things. So the arms go this way, and then they basically He-Man, got stabbed along with Skeletor, which was kind of purposeful, and they went away in this light. And of course, with it, so that the magic and everything was exposed, the sorceress, she turned old. Well, man, Cyclops was on some old religious technology stuff, and Burger King and Burger Queen were mad at Duncan, which I thought that was, to me, I didn't. I'm like, yo, hold up, wait a minute, why you mad at Duncan? You know what I'm saying? He's your man at arms, and that was just emotional. Like that part of the story I didn't like, so I definitely was rooting for He-Man. And then when Teela took off, the thing after becoming the head of the security for the kingdom or whatever, she renounced it. Yo, I was down with that because I was like, that's some bull. You know what I'm saying? Now, pretext, we did hear about this being the Teela show, which I didn't have a problem with that. Again, look, the whole idea is to write a good story. And, there are elements, there's an adventurous element in the He-Man series that they have brought that I like. The voice acting is very good compared to that of what's it compared to that of Transformers War for Cybertron in a whole. But I'll get to that later. Let's continue to talk about He-Man. The biggest thing that I did not like was them running a tropes. I hate tropes. Because that means that you're not telling a story. You just want people to watch because you threw in this or you threw in that, which is good for certain elements of a story where, like with He-Man, where you get to see all your characters from back in the days or certain vehicles or certain aspects of a show. Bet, because like I said, we're reliving, an 80s property. But the problem is, why'd you have to give her the haircut, man? Like, seriously, like that. Oh, okay, you got the shaved hair look. I mean, that to me is insulting to the community. Because if you're talking about acceptance, it's just acceptance. We're all one. We're at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, unless you want people to know, like to the forefront, your orientation. 9 times out of 10, you walk outside, nobody's going to know. Nobody's even going to ask that question. Like, I'm not going to walk up to you and say, are you, gay or lesbian or whatever, even if your mannerisms suggest otherwise, I'm still not going to ask that question. That's not my business. Now, if you tell me, that's fine. It doesn't matter because we're having a conversation. I'm having a conversation. I'm not here to chastise anyone. I like everybody, first of all. So, there's my message there. You watch one moment here. That's what you know we're live. Ready? Unlock my phone. I don't know why my phone does that. I hate iPhone. All right. I gotta go back to Android. So, I mean, like, that part was like, Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, it looks like her and that Audra girl are a couple. So what? Let them be a couple. She showed a lot of affection towards her. So, yeah, that's, who are you to say? What? Who cares? Okay, so we're adding, if that's going to be part of the story, because we are in this time, then what the hell are you upset for? I'm not upset with that. Orko, he was a little grating. I couldn't, I liked it, the way that they did him, but golly, man, it made me want to cry watching the dude. I'm like, come on, man. Orko was, he wasn't like that in the cartoon, but anyway, it's not the cartoon. I get it. It's Revelations. It's Revelations. You should be revealed. Okay, he is okay. Beastman, he was Beastman. He just had something to fight for. Evil Lynn. Audra character, I like her in a sense because I love her wonderment. She was with technology and everything like that. And, she could, there's a lot that they could do with her, on that front. because we're still waiting on the second half. We don't know what's going to happen yet. But as we went through the story, they went on with Merman and everything, and of course, they had the Man at Arms, and that was another thing too. Like, I understand you upset, and I've lived in it. I've had to have secrets I've had to keep from people that, you. We it wasn't my place to say anything, but it was kind of one of those things where I was told, like, look, if you say something, that's your ass, and I had to live with that, knowing information that I probably shouldn't even have known, but it was given to me, and it was for people close to me, very close to me, and I had to live with that information for years, and it was like, you knew, and I'm like, yeah, and they were upset, and that's rightfully so. However, we're talking about, we'll get to that. We're going to get to that. I'm going to leave that on the table because I'm going to get to that. Why I was a little upset about that. Not to say upset because that's like, this is a cartoon. I was just a little like, huh? I don't want to say upset. I wasn't upset. I was really enjoying it though. Standout character, Skeletor, even for the few times that we've seen him, it's Mark Hamill, man. And he added that campiness to him, but he still had that serious, snide, underhanded, just it's awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's Mark Hamill. But Evil-Lyn, wow, that's the character. That's if you watch this show, I will tell you, Evil-Lyn was the character because you really there's a dynamic there that was, you thought that she would really, really was gonna go with the good guys, and then she just was like, nah, fuck it. I'm still down with Skeletor. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. That was cool. That was cool. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna get to what I didn't like. So you talk hero, He-Man, who went out there, he's been He-Man. He was He-Man and stuff. And he gets killed or zapped or whatever. Now he's up in, I call it Warriors Heaven, with the previous champions. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the female, I can't remember her name, sorry, y'all. The female champion, yo, I like her. Cause she was just like, yo, like, what's up? Everybody else is like, yes, let's ride for the day. Ha ha ha. She's just like, like what? And I'm not saying that to say she shouldn't speak, but I like that because that was just so cool. That was cool. I love that. I mean, so again, there's no hate with the females. I just thought it was like, yo, you're not gonna mess with her. She's gonna kick. She's gonna do her work and keep it moving. She gonna put foot to your ass because she don't sound like she don't play. I heard a lot of people say they were upset that the original He-Man, Grayskull, was black. Okay, and they could have just threw that in here. I wouldn't care if he's black or white. And I'm black, but that was cool. And I think he's voiced by, sounded like Dennis Haysbert, which is the the insurance man. Great actor. And I could be wrong because I didn't really get into voices. I know Sarah Michelle Gellar. Buffy did the voice of Teela. And this is why a lot of people don't like Teela, is because of the fact that she got on the interview saying, like, again, she was a background character. And that's insulting to people who actually grew up with He-Man. She was not. For all intents and purposes, Teela was never a background character. That's bullshit. And it's kind of like, all right, you could stop right there and shut up because you didn't watch He-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, He-Man was on in my house. My sister was in college. We was watching He-Man. Okay. And, she was a college. When she come home from college, she would, be like, He-Man's on. Yeah. And of course she would identify the female characters as she's a female, but that's okay. But I'm saying that's just how it is. But Evil-Lyn was a standout, man. I like that. That was a character and to have even her interaction with Orko. I did like that. I did like that because you could see the foreshadow what was about to happen, but I did like her interaction with Orko. I just thought that was sweet because you didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's what made her. You made me, even though now you like, oh damn, why'd you go to the bad side? It's still like, damn, they wrote it. Why did they wrote her well? Now to Tila, you see He-Man, who been dead. He in heaven. He-Man is in heaven, okay? All right? And you're going to be like, why do you tell me? And not in the sense that you was sad, more like you was angry. Look, this man dead. He died. You got a chance to see him. You can still ask him, but you ain't had to be all like still that, people like, well, she was whiny and He-Man. No, she wasn't. Stop it. Okay. In a sense, she might have been, but not to the degree that this was. And this is why we need to stay away from the properties of the 80s, because when you start rewriting and changing stuff, you have to touch upon nostalgia. Now, granted, if the show is going to be about her, I don't have a problem with that, because with the show being about her, that's a good thing. Give us something different. But you got to put it along the lines of, you got to let your audience kind of get, no, not by just saying, well, it's Revelations and this and that. No. People of the 80s, these are our properties. We are the children of the 80s. We are the ones, all of these shows and stuff that are being rewritten are from our era. We got Thundercats. We got He-Man twice. Transformers numerous times. They won't touch G.I. Joe for some reason. Bugs Bunny, you know what I'm saying? Think about Bugs Bunny cartoons growing up all the way, Tom and Jerry. Growing up into when we were kids and everything, how, Tom and Jerry and all that stuff like that, are written different because everything's signed to times, which that's true. But even in growing up, when we were watching the old Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny, when they had all these different, tropes involved, it's like Pepe Le Pew, which people don't realize, stuff like that, where people forget because one person on Twitter said, oh, he's rapey. Shit. Okay. Well, so was she. Penelope the cat was also rapey, because when she saw when he lost his stink, there's the episode where she was all over him. So again, I don't buy this. This is a cartoon. Watch it for a good story. You get to see your people. He been dead. You ain't know he been alive. Everything's screwed. Remember, Eternia's turning upside down. People fighting for, morsels of magic. People getting turned into techno-organic beings and stuff. And you got Cyclops up here being the church. And, he's got a lot of forces and everything like that. And you got this hope to bring back magic. Now you realize that the Eternia's whole existence needs magic. You look at the sorcerer. She's turning like she was like, 100 years old, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then you got, even Lynn's hair was white. Things of that nature, which I don't know. I don't remember her hair was black or not. I only watch things once, unless it's something I really like and I'll watch it again. But, that part grated on my nerves. Like, give us a moment. It's like, hey, look, I miss you, dog. I miss you, homie. I miss you, whatever, however you want to do it. And she like He-Man too. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. But you ain't tell me. Look, it probably was for your own good, because look how you acting right now. You see what I'm saying? Everybody wants, like I said, I'm gonna tell you, if the story is bad, this is not a bad story. It's just Teela's not a likable character. They wrote her that way. We didn't write her that way. If she was a likable character, no one would be talking shit about the show. Now, you might have ulterior motives. I know that. We got our right and left wings. I don't fly, because without the right or left wing, the bird can't fly. So you can't have a right wing trying to fly, the bird's not going to lift. You have a left wing trying to fly, the bird's still not going to lift. You got to have both wings in succession. And that's how I'm like, yo, he's aside. You either get it together or we going to sink. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, unfortunately, in America, bipartisanship is really Republicans agreeing. But hey, I'm not a Republican or Democrat. I'm just showing you how it is. If you want to antidote, hit me right ahead. If your comment's too stupid, it's getting deleted. Only because I don't really want to entertain stupidity. If you got an honest opinion that we can get into, that we could talk about, I'll be glad to, respond. Now, as far as me liking the show, I'd say when I don't like it, I don't mean like, oh, I hate it. I could watch it again, but I'm just going to, I'm watching it maybe for Evelyn or certain scenes that I like. You know what I'm saying? Not for the main character that you're trying to tell me is going to be the hero. Now, I also hearing that people might say, well, it could be Audra, which, so what? I had another thing on that too. What if she is the hero? What you going to do about it? Because technically, I don't think Prince Adam is alive again. Because remember, he can't go back. You know what I'm saying? They told him, if you didn't figure that out and they would made it clear, if you leave and go back to the, realm of the living, you can't come back. So I felt bad because it's like, yeah, I hope nothing happened. Then when everything looked like he was about to, He-Man, all of a sudden it was Skeletor. And that's going to be for a nice thing in the second half. Personally, they should have just let it all go at once. Because the second half is going to be something that can redeem itself. They should have had it, to go all at once, instead of making us wait, because people are just going to hate on it. And that's going to cause, the show problems with the show, which it has, because they can't seem to get people to like it, and like I say, I'm in the middle. Because it's like I say, to watch it, to say it's bad is bull. The thing is beautiful. The animation is beautiful. The adventure is beautiful. It's just the character. That's all it is, and you don't have that. You got to have your characters like more. I'm not saying that she needed to not be this or that. All I'm saying is they don't like her. So if somebody don't like you, man, I'd rather them tell me I don't like you than to placate me. So get over it. You gotta understand it. This is how people feel. But the show is watchable. It's still a good show to watch. I think it's better. I never really watched that O2 He-Man series or any other He-Man series. I don't really I'm not that He-Man guy. I'm not a He-Man guy. The only He-Man I had was the battle action He-Man with the flippy chest. Because I was at a store called Condon's. If you're from Charleston, South Carolina, you know what Condon's is. I think it's gone now. I'm pretty sure it's not there. But Condon's used to be downtown in the old Sears building. And they had two sides of the building. They had the second side with the toy section. And every now and then I'd go out with my grandmother. And they used to have like a decent toy section. This is before Transformers, probably about a year before Transformers came out. And they had a battle action He-Man, and I remember my grandmother was like, "You want that?" Like, yeah, so I had him, and I didn't have nothing else to play with him, because I would have had, when my mom was just like, my mom was kind of, I don't know, it's not that my mom couldn't afford anything. My mom was she's just my mom. She was like, no, because see what's going on with toys now. I got more toys, and I got what I'm supposed to have, and maybe she was seeing how I was, but I've learned control, I've learned restraint, so, but no, my affection to He-Man is just the fact that it came on at a time when I was a kid, and that was part of my childhood. And I it was there. You get home from school, I was probably about 4th or 5th grade, come home from school and He-Man was on. If you got home early, Fat Albert was on first, and it was He-Man. It's all Filmation. You see that little round circle, you either know it's going to be Fat Albert or He-Man, and He-Man was just one of those shows. I mean, my older cousin, who's like, I'm 48, he's about 60. So you imagine how old he was. He used to joke, like, hey man, every time He-Man changed, he turned black. Because he got that deep tan, and we used to joke. And when I saw Grayskull being black, I was just like, you know what? Because you was right. But it's just, make your all your characters have, people shouldn't be rooting for the bad guy, in a sense, especially when you're telling a story about good versus evil, and people are liking Evelyn. I'm sorry, Evelyn was the shit, point blank. Now, it's not a rating. I don't rate shows, or I just say if it's, I usually say it's good or bad, but this one I can't really say I didn't like it, but I would watch it again. Like if I was just sitting down and I was like, man, maybe I need to look at it again. But no, I didn't like Teela. That's all. Nothing against who she is or anything. It has nothing to do with, what she, status or what perceived status she had. Cause like I said, that's not, love is love. That's it. I don't get into that because that's a force you can't deal with. Okay. There's a love for someone, that person gets that love back. You can't stop it. If man love a man, okay. Women love women, okay. If you love your transformer, you're a little weird, but okay. You know what I'm saying? And that it can't love you back. So, but when people are liking each other and care, if she did care for Audra, that I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So don't come in here with that. And if you try to pick this apart, you need to go through it, and I will remind you. You need to be reminded this section so that you know what I'm talking about. Now, hey, what's going on, JB Blackout 06? Welcome to the stream. Just got through talking about He-Man. Like I said, on a whole, I didn't like it as a show, but I did enjoy it. It's like I said, it's just they got to hit me better with the second half. Give me, and it don't have to be He-Man. And like I say, y'all want to make homegirl Audra the new champion? Go for it. Please go for it. I would love it. I'm telling you, that's not the issue. Because I actually like her character, because she was all into it. You know what I'm saying? She, and the poor robot man. what is in the Roboto? Ah man, his ending was also sad to me. Like, that part really made me want to cry, man, when he forged the sword back and he's like, I get to feel being, human. I feel, that was like, that was gut wrenching even with Oracle, because like I say, Oracle Evelyn interaction was leading up to Oracle doing what he did, and I just, yeah, those are some touching moments. I give them boy props on that. Yeah, I was like, oh, not the water. The water works. Now I don't cry like that, but I'm saying, now, like I said, watch He-Man. Just go watch He-Man with your own perspective. Don't go in trying to listen to what other people say and watch it. It's still a good show. Because it's a good show. Now, what's a bad show? This dang on Netflix. War for Cybertron. Who did this, man? All right. We're done with it. We're done with it. We're done with it. All right. It's over. It's done. We never got this. What happened? Well, why we get the Earthrise in, do you know how unforgettable War for Cybertron trilogy is? Siege was its most standout because Siege, it made sense. Because we got the toys. Remember, we got the toys for the cartoon. So Siege, the figures from Siege made sense. But when Earthrise came out, we didn't get... What happened? Well, what happened? Why we still got the same... Now we did get, a few Earthrise characters. We got Sky Lynx, which was probably the best interaction in the series. Scorponok was just thrown in there. I'm sorry, Scorponok was just thrown in there. You get mad all you want to. Scorponok was just thrown in there for just the sake of, you need to go out and buy Scorponok, who wasn't nearly available when it came out, by the way. What else? Got Double Dealer. Okay. And what happened with their faction? Hold up. We completely forgot about the faction. Completely. Like, where did they go? You know what I'm saying? Or I missed something. Maybe I forgot. Maybe they didn't, no, that's right. They didn't lift off. I forgot. But they weren't even written in the story. This is show you how cheap the cartoon was. Now, in essence, the Beast Wars characters were pretty decent. I still don't like the voices, but I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. Yes, Beast Wars Megatron voice was horrendous. Tigertron's voice didn't match him. Rat Trap, not bad. He was okay. Maybe trying a little too hard, but he was okay. Cheetor, he was a little too heavy. He didn't have that, that, not childlike, but he should have been, more of a younger voice. One of the best standouts in the whole entire series is that guy that did Megatron. He's clearly channeling in Clancy Brown's Megatron from the Mishima series, whatever, the Matchman, whatever you call it. Combiner Wars, Power of the Prime series. He definitely was channeling that. And Clancy Brown he's got that distinctive voice because I love his Lex Luthor. That's like, to me, he's Lex Luthor. All the other people that voice Lex Luthor are not Clancy Brown. And if you watch Venture Brothers, you know who he plays. Enough said. Now, Prime, listen, I don't care what you say. If you like War for Cybertron trilogy and you want to, oh, it's great. No. If it wasn't for the Beast Wars characters in this thing, I would just turn the damn thing off. Literally turn it off. Like, and I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of Beast Wars, but I've always give Beast Wars the credit for what they provided while they were on the air. Now, again, they had a good story. The animation doesn't hold up over time. Of course, this is done in the 90s. This is the beginning onset of, good CGI. But be it as is may, Beast Wars was a very good show. But that Optimus Prime really, really, come on, man. Like, could you give Prime some feeling, emotion, something to get this? You're the iconic character. You're more iconic than Megatron. Any other character, Prime, it was awful. The entire series, he sounded the same, like he just wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like 2 steps behind everybody else, even though he's supposed to be the leader. And also, again, Kingdom. You know what Kingdom was? Basically, Allspark, Matrix. That's it. That was the story. And Unicron. Oh, and the Ark to transform because he went through a dead universe. These dudes put everything on going through a section of space. Oh, I went through a section of space and now I could transform. Because the Ark doesn't transform. That's why I'm contemplating buying the Ark, but I know it's going to be hot shit to sell it. So I'm going to buy it just to keep it and maybe sell it because I don't really like the design of it. I like the ship mode, the robot mode. It's not that great to me. I know people are clamoring behind it, but now it isn't. For a Titan class, it doesn't speak to me like the other ones did. Like, it doesn't. It just doesn't. It just, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's going to get people views, but I'm going to be honest with you. I just didn't like Scorponok. Dude, I went through hoops and hurdles to get Scorponok at Target and get it on 5% off of the red card, but Ark, no. So Matrix, Dead Universe, Allspark. That's basically what the show is about. The interaction, the characters, the backstory, convoluted. It was. I mean, the references to the Nemesis versus referring to Nemesis Prime weren't really separated. So, your own cast sounded like they were confused. When you're talking about Nemesis, the ship or Nemesis Prime? It's Nemesis. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly he's not Nemesis. And even if he does turn to Nemesis, Primal, he was a little more gruff in this series. He was more of the standout leader than Optimus Prime was. And that kind of shocked me, being that Prime should be the elder, ancient leader. And, Primal is a descendant of him. And he was more like, let's go, let's go. It's funny part when he was like, are we supposed to, when Hound, was it Hound that said that? Or are we supposed to maximize 2 or something like that? I mean, Cheetor, I didn't get that. I gotta say he was okay. Black Arachnia was one of, she had a lot of scheming. That's Black Arachnia. And they did a good job with her. Starscream in this series. I felt even that dude that did his voice, he channeled Starscream. That guy was pretty close to Chris Latta. let's see. What else did I like? Um, you know, again, the Megatron. I still like him. Not Beast Wars Megatron. I didn't like him. He was not Beast Wars Megatron. I just don't see like Mega. I knew at the end he wind up. They all wind up getting together to go after Megatron and Galvatron and all them and whatnot. But I feel like Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron, if this was the one from the original Beast Wars, we would have some type of double cross going on. They try to imply that, but nah, this cat was fanboying Megatron, man. I'm your namesake. You know what I'm saying? And Megatron was still treating him like ass, like, yo, you can't be going around saying you Megatron. Ain't even one Megatron up here, cat. Which in a sense, I still think if this was like Frank Welker G1 Megatron and him going up against who's the voice? David K. I could still see Frank Welker going, I am the only Megatron. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, but I'm trying to remember stuff because the show is just unforgettable. Jesus, it was so unforgettable. Golly, and I watched this thing. You know, I watched it straight through. And I think I went to the bathroom and I think I got up and ate something. It was on. I could still hear it. I didn't even rewind it. I just didn't care. I'm sure I missed a few things. I did miss probably about maybe 25 minutes of it going from the bathroom, going to the kitchen. So if I left anything out, please feel free to leave down in the comments or in the chat. But no, it is a no. Unicron being there, looking that Unicron model looked like ass. Him with whole Galvatron, UK thing where you had Galvatron and Megatron at the same time, and Starscream was still trying to tell him something, and they didn't, lock him in a stasis. I didn't get that shit. Like the man trying to tell you something, y'all motherfucker lock his ass up. Shit. Airazor was pretty cool. I like her little scene with Laserbeak, but Laserbeak is like, I'm Laserbeak. I'm just a bird. So of course he got the upper hand. Could it mean that we could get Legacy show? If we get a Legacy show, they got to step it up. I mean, the show is not. Neither one of the shows that I'm talking about today are doing good. They're not. I think with He-Man, I'm a little torn on that because I think personally, if you could look at the story in itself and the fact that the voice acting was good, I would say, yeah, He-Man shouldn't be hit like it is, but War for Cybertron is unforgettable. And I've heard people say, I'm going to go back and watch Siege and watch it straight through. You're going to put yourself to sleep. Earthrise was the worst of it, man. Siege was the beginning. Siege, made sense. But it was nobody in Siege that I went, oh man, I'm gonna miss this character. You got Impactor, and and even he died, but I didn't go crazy like, oh my god, Impactor is dead. Oh Lord, I was like, oh, he did. Okay. For Earthrise, you use elements of of Select toys, and I know the idea was to make the toys look like you could play them, but I'm not. Look. Okay. This is what made the cartoon and the toys relatable. Think about Transformers Prime. When Transformers Prime, you had the first editions. We had the technically he's bigger than the Voyager. I don't remember sizes, but he would technically be leader. You had Starscream, which has been used to make my favorite version of of the female character, the female Jet. She was TFC exclusive. I can't remember her name right now. This is like we can get old, you can't remember stuff. And you had the RC, which a lot of people said they preferred not the first edition, but the regular RC. But the first edition had more intricate transformation, and then the Bumblebee. Here, first editions, you know what I'm saying? Those were the ones they try to make them as, screen accurate as possible. Whereas with the toys, if you had like the regular version of Prime, there are like 3 versions of Prime. There was a smaller version that, in Japan, he was referred to as Orion Pax. And then, of course, you had the slew of the, I guess, Voyager Optimus Prime from Prime that didn't have that transformation in the fake chest. In fact, his chest was actually the windows of the cab. And I have a few of those. I actually like that transformation. But the first editions, they were, you could say, premium, where they look like the series. But for the rest of it, not everybody looked like they looked like Ratchet. Was probably the worst one, because Ratchet, despite the fact that he's not like the fighter, he had a very blocky look. He still had a blocky look, and the toy was kind of a dud. So supposedly, now I know some of y'all gonna debate me, but the mold that they use for breakdown, for the Voyager breakdown or whatever, I guess he's Voyager, I don't know, was the repaint that Swerve was technically going to be Ratchet. And I could have seen that, but Ratchet was kind of in the middle. So the Ratchet that we got was super small, and then the Ratchet that we got in the show was in the middle. And then, of course, if they used the breakdown mode, he'd be a big bulky guy. And I don't know if that would have worked. Oh yeah, and I forgot about Bulkhead, this first edition Bulkhead. And like I said, Knockdown didn't look like the cartoon, but people still bought the toy. People love Knockdown. So I mean, so much so they made a red figure. So much so I guess in Legacy we're probably going to get Knockdown. So it's like, how can you don't need to make it match the toy. It's been like that. It's been like that since G1. I mean, Ironhide had a sticker for a face, while the cartoon didn't look nothing like it, but kids still bought Ironhide. I guarantee you, Ironhide got traded on the playground a lot. Not traded because he was bad, just traded because people had like other car. There's really popular molds that people like Sunstreaker. You on the playground, you got Sunstreaker, bro. And he got all the weapons. You can get some stuff. You can get some trade bait, man. I've seen people trade, back in the days when I was a kid in '84. Man, that kid came on the playground with Sunstreaker. He didn't get home with his Sunstreaker, man. He got beat up. Homeboy took his Sunstreaker, man. That's how it was, man. Sunstreaker boy, he was like, yo, you can take that back home. Because them ghetto kids gonna come for it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just give us a good cartoon. You have to have good voice acting for a cartoon. It wasn't, I mean, it's not even on the level, man. This was utterly, I'd rather watch Cyberverse. And Cyberverse is not bad. It never was. I binge it on YouTube. But it just nah, man, it didn't do it. It didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me. I say for the Beast Wars characters redeemed the show enough for me not to say it's hot garbage, but in all, the entire trilogy was trash. I'm tired of hearing people give this series, well, no, man, we're not making compromises. If you're gonna make the cartoon for us to watch it, make it right. If you ain't gonna make it right, take that shit back. We still bought the toys. We bought the toys regardless of the cartoon. I mean, there's not a single person, damn gnats. There's not a single person that didn't buy these toys. I gotta get this dang on that. Somebody opened the door, back door. That didn't, go, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? We were buying the toys regardless of the cartoon. So, your cartoon did not sell these toys. Let's just make that clear. Yeah, all right. So let's it did that it was an opposite job than what it was supposed to be. And and you paid the price for it. People trashed your show. So hey, you just gotta take that L. It's up. go back to the drawing board if you do legacy. All right. You ain't gonna do it. If you ain't gonna put no money into it, and well, Netflix ain't got no money, then don't do it. Don't do it. We don't legacy. Think about Chug in general sold itself without a cartoon. Chug sold itself without a cartoon. So I mean, that's just the way it is. And of course, we got this guy. Well, this is some of my vintage crap that sits around the house. I brought with me today, and this is Hank K, Optimus Prime, and this is the last thing. It's just going to show off some of the stuff I had. Now, of course, the Hank K version had more of a G1 paint job and everything like that. So, I mean, it's definitely a go. And of course, I still had him in the box. Was this guy, oh boy, Jetfire, which I've had for ages now. But yeah, I mean, overall, He-Man, good in a sense. It's bad, good. Transformers, War for Cybertron, bad, bad, bad. I'm not going to stay too long, guys. I got to get out of here because this is just a neat stream. I didn't have much views anyway. That's why I don't really go live. So, maybe one day, but I had to, like I said, I had to put it off since yesterday just due to some issues we had to take care of. And, of course, like I said, I had to cut my grass. And that's it, y'all. So, yeah, I'm going to see you again. I'll have some more reviews go up, might even review this guy. This is my copy of Henkei's Skyfire. In Japan, he was called Skyfire from 2008, and it is complete. And it had some issues over time. The plastic's starting to degrade on these toys, man. Y'all, boy, just give you a heads up. Like I because I know how to transform this guy, and the plastic just cracking, man. But that's about it. So I want to say peace to everybody that came in. If you didn't come in, you don't like what I'm putting down. Hey, I understand, but this is where I call it quits tonight. I'm gonna head back to the house. Peace to everybody. Peace to all my new subscribers. I'm over 800. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. We're getting close, so that's a good thing. And if you watch this back on the replay, give a thumb up, give a thumb down, whatever you want to do. You got comments you want to leave them. But I'm rolling. So peace out to everybody. Thank you again. This is Super Robot Ed. Have a great night. Have a great day. Have a great week. Oh, and we got review for Retgar coming in real soon. Peace.